Welcome back to the Joe Rosa Show, and I am here in studio with Alex Vazquez. Alex, what's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. So I've enjoyed getting to know you, personally over the years, and I just think that you're just an awesome dude, and I can't wait to just kind of just shoot the shit with you for a little bit here on the show. So let's get right into it. So you have really have built like an amazing team, you and your partner, and so. What was that like for you, when you were trying to come together and trying to say, what, I think we should come together, join forces, with you and Eric and we want to build this team. What was that like for you? Why'd you do it? Like what made you kind of go in that direction?
So it's a good question. It really happened by accident, to be really honest. I was a single agent at the time, and that was back right after the market changed, back in 08, 09.
Yeah, times that we always want to kind of forget about,
right? And so during those times, I was doing a lot of short sales. Eric was actually processing short sales.
Right.
And he kept calling me, trying to get my business. And I was no. And then we had a mutual friend and said, hey, you guys would really work great together. He set up a lunch, and we said, well, we'll start slow. And I mean, it just blew up into this team that we have now. And it's great because I think teams have to be formed with chemistry.
Yeah.
It's hard to match people up and make things work.
For sure.
Especially in this business. So it really happened by accident.
Yeah. No, it's like I always will kind of like compare it when we say team, right? Think of like a sports team. It's like you can't have 5 point guards. You can't have 11 quarterbacks, right? Everybody's got to have to, find a position that is, where they're best suited at, and you all have to kind of come together, take on certain responsibilities and so on. And I know I struggled with that, when I was selling real estate, both my brother and I, two Ds, right? Two drivers, right? So we were like, always button heads and so on. And we did well, but we probably could have done better if, we would have kind of understood that, kind of concept. So, talk to me about, since you kind of mentioned it, right? And I was just kind of joking. We all want to forget about, what it was like in 2008 and around that time. But I know a little bit about your story, so I know it. But tell the audience, right? So, you kind of went through a down market. What was that like for you, right? Because there was definitely, like, we all experienced it, some failure, right? Some feeling like, man, like we're getting beat up here and so on. How important was going through that time, in your life and in your career? How important was that, for you and really kind of led you to where you are today?
It was huge. I think it was everything. Before the boom, I got into the business right before the boom of that time.
Right.
And it was order taking, right?
Yeah.
Put a sign in the yard.
Exactly.
And you get a contract a couple of days or a couple minutes later. I mean, it was just crazy. And when
kind of like what it was in the 2020, 2021, right?
No doubt,
exactly,
really, just like that. And so I guess I got lucky. I come from a service industry before real estate,
right.
So service was always my top priority.
Yeah,
which kept me strong. But when the market crashed, I lost everything, man. I mean, I think you know this.
Yeah.
The audience doesn't know this, but I lost everything. I remember sitting one night, 2 a.m. on my couch in my living room, just praying, God, please just don't take my house.
Yeah.
I lost everything else. And it made me refocus, and it made me understand what I needed to do better to push through. Got through that market, and I just made changes in my business that I never went back to. Just educated decisions about how I move forward, right. And what I do with my business to make sure that it's recession proof, or so to speak, recession proof.
Sure. Yeah.
So
I knew the answer to that, but I wanted to kind of set you up so you'd be able to kind of tell the audience, and that's what I love about you, because just like I've shared, it's like we all get to that time where we feel like we're in like that darkest hour, and you question like why is this happening, it took me a while. I've heard this saying, for years, and it took me a while for me to actually pay attention to it, is that, life is not happening to you, but it's happening for you. And kind of like what you said there is that, you kind of went through this experience and you learned from it. I think the biggest mistake that people can make is going through a painful time in their life or in their business and then not learning from that experience. Correct. And then making that same mistake over again. Yep. And so, I applaud you, and obviously for all this, the success that you've had, throughout the years building your team, and let me ask you this. So as you kind of got back on your feet and you started to kind of, have some success and you started to come together with Eric and you build this amazing team and, one of our top teams, actually not one of the top team within La Rosa, what was it like? Did you have moments where you kind of felt like, man, hey, things are going awesome, but then all of a sudden you kind of felt like you were hitting a roadblock again? Or did you ever feel like, you were having like turbulent times, as you're building your business?
Yeah, I believe we always have turbulent times. Every year we go through, nothing is perfect. So everyone understands, on our team, just like you said, we have different roles and you can't have two Ds, right?
Right.
So Eric has always been the guy that has been the front guy. He's taken charge of our agents. He's really given direction to the agents. And I'm more the back end guy. I watch our numbers. I really strategize about what we can do, where we should spend, where we shouldn't. And so we've always gone through ups and downs, and we've hit ceilings.
Yeah.
And we figure out ways to break through them. And I think every January, I'm like, damn, how are we going to outdo ourselves?
Right.
How are we going to hit that number we hit last year? And it seems to work itself out.
Sure.
Because our foundation and our base and our systems are there.
Right.
Yeah, could we make changes? Of course, we all can. But I think what we do is when we see an issue coming up, we figure out a way to problem solve quickly and then move forward. We don't get caught up on what's not going well. We figure out a way to make it go well and we push through it. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, no, that does. I mean, because, I think what happens too is that people kind of start to go down this path. They have a little bit of success, and then all of a sudden they go through a turbulent time in their business, or they hit that ceiling, or they become complacent, and they don't adapt because, I think that you always have to be, aware of what is going on today, but what is also coming down the road.
Correct.
And you have to have, that opportunity. It's like kind of like playing chess. You just can't, just sit back and just hey, I'm going to keep riding this wave. No, you got to be able to continuously focus on the future and how am I going to continue to grow and evolve and adapt. And there's going to be ups and downs. I mean, I deal with it all the time. I know you deal with it. So, yeah. So let me ask you, what's one thing that you love the most about what you do now today, in your business?
I love helping. I work the seller side of the business always.
Yeah.
So I love helping people sell their homes. I love sitting down, going over numbers and making people realize that they can achieve what I set out in the beginning. It's a game plan.
Yeah.
So I love that part of it. I love when I set a number and I hit it.
Yeah.
I love when the appraiser comes back to me and says nope, and then I show the comps and I beat the appraiser.
Right.
Doesn't happen all the time, right? But I love that side of the business. And to be really transparent, that's my strength.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of going out and showing 20 homes. That's why we have a team, right?
Yeah.
And that's why Eric heads that up. That's his side of the business.
Sure.
And now Abe covers that. But that's what I love about the business. I like to sit down and tell a seller, this is what you're going to do, this is how we're going to do it, and then we get there.
So, all right. So be real with me now for a moment here. And we have all kind of felt, obviously, a little bit of a change and a little uncertainty again, and nothing like what it was, back in 2008 and so on. But, you being a listing agent, the last couple of years, wasn't that difficult. Now things kind of shifted a little bit. So what have you had to, talking about, again, pivoting and adapting?
Correct.
What have you done lately that's been different than what you had to do maybe a year and a half ago or a year ago even?
I'm really conservative with our numbers now.
Yeah.
I don't go based off of what sold 6 months ago, because what sold 6 months ago is irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what I do is I really focus on what's the true value of your home.
Right.
And what I do is I coach the homeowner and I let them know, listen, what you're seeing on the news, that's old news.
Yeah.
Really what's happening today in the market it's not what they're saying on the news. It's your house is not worth what you thought it was 30 days ago.
That's a hard conversation.
It is. It's very hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard because, I'm competing against seller greed, right?
Yeah.
It's just human nature.
Absolutely.
Competing against the news. I'm competing against the guy down the block that or the agent down the block that told the seller they can get 600 grand when the house is worth 5.
That's a problem.
And so sometimes I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I let them know, listen, this is what I do.
Right.
And then the numbers speak for themselves. Like, I'll show them sales reports where my list to sales price is, 99%, 98%.
Right.
Versus someone else's, which may be 90.
Yeah.
It's a big deal when it comes to your pocket, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I try and do to beat, what's happening now in the market. It's tough, man. I'm not going to lie. It's tough.
Yeah.
And we're talking about changing in the market, and we'll see what this year does. It's going to be interesting conversations.
Yeah. So what do you right now, with where the market is today, where do you feel it's going to be headed? I know this is a difficult question. So, I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot here because no one can sit and really predict the accurate, future. And we've even brought on some great, economic advisors and so on. And even at our big legacy event, I always feel bad for one of the guys that we always bring in from Florida Realtor because he always will tell the story. And then all of a sudden, like 2 months later, it's like completely different.
Yeah.
But what do you see happening, in our market here? Now we're, in the month of March, and as we get ready, kind of get into now kind of the really height of the spring market, where do you see us going?
My optimistic mind is that we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe we're going to see an adjustment, which we are. We've
Absolutely.
all been spoiled over the last 2 years, right?
Right.
We've all been used to just asking for what we want and getting it, and it's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
As agents, we need to be more creative when marketing properties, but I think sellers too need to be more realistic, and we are going to see an adjustment. We're going to see more days on market.
Yeah.
But that's healthy.
Yeah.
It's not healthy for a house to sell in a day.
Right.
It's not healthy for you to get 100 grand over what your house is worth. That's not a healthy market.
Yeah.
And so I see that's going to continue. The adjustment will continue, but I believe Central Florida as a whole is a very strong market for a bunch of different reasons,
Sure.
right? It's probably a long answer, but I think that our market is going to adjust, continue to adjust.
Right.
And I think the big variable is where interest rates stay or go. If they shoot up, it could be an issue for us. Our inventory is going to grow.
Sure.
And then prices are going to have to adjust downward.
Yeah.
If they stay where they are and people realize, okay, this is normal, then we're going to sell some houses.
Yeah, one of the things that I'd always, tell realtors is, listen, you want to be, you're a professional, right? So you want to be a wealth of knowledge. That's how you're really going to be able to stand out, because you do get a lot of folks, kind of like going back to what you were saying earlier, you get that agent down the block says, oh, you want this much? Oh, yeah, I'll get you this much and then some. And then that's not just like a reality. You have to really kind of know like the numbers, know what really is happening, but then know what is driving the market too. And, you got to pay attention. Like I hate watching the news, but every now and then you got to kind of stay kind of engaged to what is going on that's going to drive the market. I was on someone's show not too long ago, and they were like, what's the one thing that you're really paying attention to right now? And I said, look, it's just inflation. Mm-hmm. Is inflation, how much better is it getting? Are we in deflation? Because that really is what's going to drive the market, because it's like a domino effect, right. So on. So let me ask you, tell me, since being, this leader that you are, right, and having this team with you and Eric, H6 Homes, and I know a lot of folks look up to you. How do you stay kind of mentally fit? Like how do you prep yourselves, every day for just taking on, all the things that you have to take on?
I smile, man, because it's getting harder. I'm being real.
I appreciate, be honest. I appreciate that.
No, I'm being real. It's getting harder, man. I've been doing this a long time. So I take more time for myself now. Yeah. I'm just not off the bat like I've, been years in the back. Right. I take my time now, man, and I'm more focused now on really getting myself mentally strong and mentally prepared so that I can convey that message to my team and the people that are listening to me. Yeah. But it's getting hard, man. Yeah. It's funny, we're kind of going down this road in this conversation, but I'm at the point in my career that I'm looking to reinvent myself a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. And just make some changes. Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of changes?
I don't know. That's where I'm at right now. Yeah. I love real estate. Yeah. I love the industry. I think I just want to figure out a way to stay in the business, stay current, but build more of a personal portfolio.
Sure.
And lead people to help others.
Yeah.
And so that's where I want to go with my career now. I think I want to start figuring out a way to exit the day-to-day soon.
Yeah.
But you know, at the same time, I want my team to be able to flourish and continue to move forward. So this is this battle that I'm struggling with now.
Well, listen, man, you guys, I mean, I've seen what you guys have done over the years, and you know that old saying, right? Everybody really should focus at some point. You're going to get to that point where you want to become that business owner rather than the business operator, right? And then when you can become the owner, then that's going to allow you to be able to pursue even more of your, you know, passion or more dreams that you may have set for yourself. And what I love about you guys is that, you know, you did kind of, kind of follow your passion down in Costa Rica.
Yeah, we did.
Let's talk a little bit about that, you know, and here you got like the number one team in La Rosa, and I'm going on social media. I'm like, what the hell are they doing in Costa Rica all the time? Yeah. And then you guys opened up a business down there. And,
we did.
What's that all about?
Man, another thing that just happened. I've owned property in Costa Rica for years.
Yeah.
And I had to go down there to take care of some legal business with the property that I own. And I said, Eric, man, let's go for a quick trip. So he's like, let's go. My son Alex came with us, and this was the first time they'd been there. They fell in love. Costa Rica has this thing about it, man. It just drives people to it. Yeah. And we got there. They fell in love, and Eric, being the guy he is, he's always thinking of what can we do. He started thinking of how can we make some money out here and really make it happen. And we started looking at different ways. We learned a bunch of stuff. And all of a sudden, I'm online surfing, and I see this tour business with 8 ATVs and a small database.
Right.
It was a mom and pop for sale. And I shoot it to Eric. He's like, I don't know, man. I was like, come on, because I'm that guy. You know?
Yeah.
And we ended up buying it. And we've grown it now. We've got 13 ATVs. We've got a buggy, a 4-wheel side-by-side buggy.
Yeah.
And we're doing well. It's a job, man. It's hard. Yeah. It's tough. But I guess because we come from that service background, it's pretty easy for us because people love to go on vacation.
Right.
And so we bought this business. We've got it running, and we'll see where that goes, man. But it's been fun. It's been 2 years now, almost. Eric's out there running it, thank God.
But I don't think I've seen Eric in a while. He's been back a couple times, but like here and there, right?
Yeah, man. He comes back every once in a while to punch the passport, I think, and then he comes in flip flops and he's living the beach life. Yeah. But he's doing great, man. He's running the business. We're doing well, awesome. And he also needed some time to kind of reinvent things for himself, and so I'm happy that he's out there. And it's going well.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I got a place up there in Costa Rica as well. So we're gonna have to see, maybe we expand the business a little bit north, because you're down south.
We're
right?
South. Yeah, we're south in Jaco, right off the Pacific coast.
Yeah, cool, man. Cool. So tell me about going back to your team here. Tell me, what are some of the plans that you guys have here in 2023?
So we are, we're actually not in growth mode right now. We are tightening up because we don't know where this market's going to be. Okay. We just want to make sure that our current agents are strong. They've got systems in place, and that they're servicing the client at the highest end. And that's what we're doing right now. We are just making sure that we are understanding of what the market is doing and where it's going. And if we see that it's in time to grow some more, we'll grow a little bit. But we don't want to get out of control where things may change and then we've got a bunch of people doing nothing. So we're about systematizing, making sure that we can handle the accounts that we have currently, and just making sure that it can run tight. Yeah,
so I love what you said there, because we obviously are always promoting growth, right? Grow. But sometimes part of that growth, it also kind of requires you just to be smart and intelligent and be aware of what's going on around you, so that you can kind of, take a step back, reassess. This could be an opportunity. Like when COVID hit, I told my team and really even myself, it was an opportunity for me to really kind of say, all right, let's take a step back. Let's kind of reassess. Let's not, we can't keep moving forward. We're going to still continue to do business, but let's reassess and see how we can get better. Let's sharpen our axe so that when it's time for us to go out there and start swinging away, we have the sharpest axe out there. Correct. So let me ask one last question here, because I think this is an important question. So in today's market, right, do you see opportunity? Because there's a lot of, I know a lot of realtors, especially here, within La Rosa, they look up to you guys. You guys have always been, getting recognized as the number one team here. Is there opportunity, and what advice, I guess, here's really what my question is. What advice would you give a newer agent getting into the market now?
So there's tons of opportunity in this market.
Right.
There's opportunity to get out and meet new clients, but there's also opportunity as a person that maybe wanting to invest. You just have to be smart about it. You have to really dig deep. But the advice that I would give is understand your strengths.
Right.
Understand what niche of the market you want to focus on. I think it's important that new agents nowadays focus on not just everything, right? You can't be a single family, a multifamily, and a leasing agent. You can't do that effectively. And in this market, if you want to be successful, I think you got to focus on what your niche is.
Yeah.
And understand it. Like you said, sharpen your axe in that specific niche and just dominate it. I think social media, obviously we all know, right? We're here today,
right,
is huge in our market because people are on their phones all day long. And so you need to have a presence. I think I'm kind of lucky, and us older agents are lucky in the sense that we've built this database and we have a following of word of mouth.
Right.
But the newer agent in this industry, it's tough because it's not the same market. Everyone can get the same information that I can give them.
Right.
So you have to provide value. And I say this to our newer agents because, we've got a bunch of new agents on our team as well. You have to provide value to your client and help them understand why they need you. Mm-hmm. Because they can go on any other website and find the same information you're going to get off the MLS.
Yeah.
We don't hold the keys to the kingdom anymore.
Sure.
Right? It's what Eric says all the time. And it's so important to understand the value that you bring as an agent and be consistent.
Yeah. I love that you said that, because even like with us, back in the day, we were one of the few companies that offered 100%. Now, like, everybody's trying to do it, right? And so, I always tell my team, we have to be able to show folks and agents that we really offer a tremendous value to them, though. It's a great value proposition. So I love that you said that. So, man, listen, I appreciate you coming on the show today, man.
I appreciate the invite again. I've got one question for you, if you don't mind.
All right.
I always ask one question to people that I really look up to, that, that I look as mentors. I don't want to put you on the spot, right?
No, it's all good. Hey, don't worry. I've actually done this a couple of times, right? I've told the guest, all right, you can ask me a question. What's the question you want to know?
So if you could go back to any time and change one thing, what would you do?
Man, that's a good one. Man, and I've asked that question too.
Have you?
So I should be prepared with this answer. I would probably say this. If I can go back in time to my early 20s or when I was first starting La Rosa, I probably would have been more open to having that coach and that mentor. And, it took me a few years, and, I lost my shirt, just like, experience you went through. I went through some difficult times, and, it's like, man, trying to ignore phone calls. I know it's the, collection company calling me about this and that and so on. And so when I was going through that time, I was too cocky, and I was not cocky. That's the wrong word. I was too, I guess, just stubborn and thinking no. I have to figure this out myself.
Proud.
And yeah, I was too proud, and I had too much pride. And, then later on, I think what was a big changing, moment for me was when I said, I'm going to open up. And, I was always closed-minded. I'm going to open up, and I'm going to be humble and just be able just to kind of just, take it in and to allow somebody else to kind of come in and guide me. And, a couple of years ago, I started working with this, dude named Rex Crane. He's an amazing impact in my life. And he actually was one of our keynote speakers at our legacy event. And so, and I've had other coaches before him. And so I guess if I can go back to answer your question, I would have been more open to, getting coached, having somebody there kind of, guide me and kind of, because sometimes, we allow ourselves to become our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
And it's good to have that sounding board and to be able to, get that, advice when it's needed the most. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
all right,
that.
man. Yeah, of course, man. So that is going to be our show here this week. And we appreciate all of you for watching once again. And we'll see you next time here at the Joe La Rosa Show.